The global outbreak of the coronavirus has forced all UC and Cal State schools, including Cal Poly Pomona, to go virtual. We asked CPP students and faculty about how they feel about the coronavirus and the transition to online classes.
Student here at Cal Poly, how do you feel about the coronavirus outbreak?
I guess it's pretty scary, but overall I try not to worry about it too much because I don't have other priorities. That's, I guess above that worry. But I mostly just try to stay calm, cool, and collective, Just try to, keep myself safe by just doing the basics like washing my hands and just making sure I try to avoid a lot of surfaces that people generally tend to touch a lot. So, yeah, just basic stuff like that.
Okay, and do you feel like the media is blowing it out of proportion?
I kind of feel like it is, but in general, it's kind of like one of the biggest news that's come out this year. So I feel like in a way they kind of do that because there's not like a lot really going on except this virus. So in a way it's kind of like how there's kind of like, so in a way like they might be like a little bit, but in general like it is pretty scary. So I'm not surprised that they are.
Okay. And how do you feel about the school transferring everything online?
I mean, I feel like they're just doing like the necessary things they have to do to keep it safe as students. So in a way, I'm kind of glad they're doing it because in a way, it's also kind of making sure that the virus doesn't spread within our community. So it's just, I feel like they're doing the right thing by kind of shifting everything online, just like the other Cal States and how they did it too.
Right. How do you feel about it?
I mean, it's pretty serious what's going on. But honestly, I don't feel very, sort of. I don't feel like it's gonna affect me that much. But it's still important to take precautions because you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So what do you do? Like, do you do anything extra to make sure that you're safe?
Just the regular, like don't touch your face as much. I usually like touch my face in class, but I try to avoid that more and just like wash my hands more often. That's pretty much it.
Okay, and how do you feel about the school transferring people online?
I mean, I think it's good like to take initiative that way because if we didn't, at first I heard that we're gonna wait until 5 people get sick and then we're gonna do that. So I didn't think I was right. So I think it's better just to move everything online for now, just to avoid the worst.
Okay, so how do you feel about the coronavirus outbreak?
From what people are saying, it doesn't sound that bad, but I'm more concerned about other people getting it who have like immune systems who are not that well, and people who are compromised.
So do you feel like the media is kind of like taking that?
Well, since it's like rapidly spreading, I don't know how to. Like, I am nervous, but I'm not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So what do you feel about the school taking measures to put classes online versus face-to-face?
Well, I feel like nobody's here already, so might as well just go online.
And do you have any social media that you do more of to prevent
Washing my hands. I feel like that's the only thing you can do. Just wash your hands every time you do it.
How do you feel about the coronavirus?
I think it's more panic among people. Like they're making it seem easy. I mean, it is like scary, but I think they're overdoing it, making people really panic.
So with the media kind of
Yeah, they're overdoing it.
How do you feel about the school and what they're doing to prevent?
I think it's considerate for a lot of people that maybe traveled or they're not here and they're missing school. So I think it's nice to those people, especially maybe if they're panic, they're scared to be here. It's a good idea. They made it online. But still, I feel like they're just overdoing it.
Yeah. So are you washing your hands more? Are you doing anything more to be extra safe?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess like hand sanitizer like everywhere whenever I touch any hands. But I think it's just I haven't really been out like in and about too much. Like I know a lot of events are coming up, like public events, like Beyond, Coachella, all that stuff. Yeah. No.
Okay, with the outbreak of coronavirus, how do you feel about it?
Such an important position, honestly. So it might be
I'm pretty regular. I think it's like getting a little blown out of proportion just because it's kind of just like a worse flu from what I've been reading. So I think like a lot of people are overreacting, and so I'm not really too worried.
How do you feel about like businesses and the sports events and all that stuff shutting down?
I understand like so businesses, I feel like they shouldn't be shutting down as much, but like sporting events, I understand like cutting it down to like no crowds, because when there is like something going around, you don't want to get 20,000 people together. So I understand kind of limiting those, but I don't think like full on like businesses like grocery stores and like random businesses should be closing down when it's smaller environments, if that makes sense.
Okay, and then what about the school taking
I think, like I was saying earlier, probably like a little bit of an overreaction, but I guess I understand it's also to better be safe than sorry. So I do think it's kind of getting a little too much, but I do think like it's better to be safe than sorry at the end.
What about the recent outbreak with the coronavirus?
Speak up.
I definitely think it's something that shouldn't be joked about, and it is a little scary, but I know like this campus is safe and like they got us out in time, so I'm glad for that. I was worried they weren't going to close the school.
Okay, so do you feel like the media is hyping up the situation, or do you think it's accurate how much they're, I guess, reporting on it?
I would say like obviously the media, like everything comes out really quickly, so people jump on the story and people like instantly talk about it and tell their friends and like make a panic. But for the most part, like it is serious, and that's why like pretty much everything you could think of has been taken, like the necessary like steps to be just cautious.
Okay, so what steps have you taken personally? Like, do you do anything more now that this is happening?
I definitely exaggerate like washing my hands longer and been carrying like hand sanitizer more. And just in general, I guess I am a little scared of people recently. Like if I hear a cough, like I try to stay away from it.
Okay, and then how do you feel about classes going online?
Honestly, I think it would be difficult for some classes, like the multimedia ones. But for the most part, I've taken a lot of online classes before, so I feel like it'll be pretty easy for me at least.
Okay, so with the recent outbreak of coronavirus, how do you feel about it?
So I think that it was a really hard decision for the school to make, and I think the chancellor and everyone's working to. I forgot what I was gonna say. Thanks, Verlinda. Yeah. So I think it was a hard decision for the school to make, and I think that we're gonna have to wait and see what happens, because students are being affected, like international students, students that have nowhere to go, and then students that have families, they might have to take off work, or they're not having access to internet, and yeah, it's kind of unknown, but.
Right. So do you feel like with all the media coverage, do you feel like it's being blown out of proportion, or do you feel like
I think it is, because a lot of people are kind of just reacting without doing research. Mm-hmm. So I know like there's the issue right now with like the water bottles and the toilet paper, mm-hmm. and I was reading that that's kind of like just a panic of the bodily human. So I think that you need to like be mindful and react. And then there's also the issue of racism against certain races that they're targeting, thinking that it came from them. There's not a lot of information. So, because I read that there's been like a disease every few years, or not a disease, but a virus.
Yeah.
So I think we need to be like more mindful and do lots of research before we start reacting. But it's always good to be prepared.
Right. So what are some things that you personally have taken, like extra precautions? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you want to see, we did buy water. Okay. I don't know if we're going to show that. But we did buy water and just trying to be really clean. So here in the advising center, we have a check-in system. So we're trying to just keep everything clean, and if students don't want to touch anything, and trying to limit our contact, as well as just personally to keep your immune system up. So try to take all your vitamins and eating healthy and things like that. And then the masks and stuff, I don't think they're really beneficial unless you actually are sick or something. So I think that we should be mindful of that. And then I'm really big about the environment, so I'm not really keen on using a lot of water bottles. So I want to like try to save. So we brought a Brita filter and things like that.